Y'all see that? Just that quick. Mute it. All right. Good afternoon and welcome to this week's episode of the Chop Shop. I am your host, Marvin McKinstry, Workforce Supervisor with the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. And as always, it is our honor and our privilege to be able to come to you to talk to you about amazing opportunities and to talk with amazing people. We have a Power Pack show online for you today. So you definitely want to like, love, share, tag somebody's name in the comments that you think needs to hear about amazing opportunities. I always wait until I tell you to do it for me to do it so we could do it at the same time. All you have to do, if you're looking at this anywhere other than the Baltimore City Mayor's Office of Employment Development page, you want to go to that page and then you have the live broadcast where you can like, love, and share. I'm about to share it to my page now. That's right. We do it live and in color. And tag other people who you believe have organizations, businesses, people who may be looking for employment opportunities to come on and be a part of this conversation today because it's going to be a power pack one. But before we get to that, I've got to always acknowledge, recognize, and one day she might even pop her face on the camera. Y'all see it on the screen. My Ryder. That's right. She is one of the baddest producers in the land, and she produces this show. And she is Miss Katanya Lester, who is always behind the scenes making the magic happen. So I could just sit down here and have the necessary conversation with the necessary people. Now let's talk, because one of the first things you're gonna see when you go to the Baltimore City Mayor's Office of Employment Development page is a new logo. That's right. It's official. I'm going to have to change my background because the new logo is up and out in the public. I don't know if we have it anywhere where we can show you guys, but the new logo is, well, it's not quite all the way up, but when you look at the page, you can see some parts of it. But we have a new logo. We're undergoing a branding shift, right? We're not changing any of the things you know about us. We'll still be MOED, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. But how much about you? Just like this gray hair on my face that just seemed to happen to me last year. Sometimes we undergo a new look, right? So I want everybody to go and check out the page, not only just for the show, but there are constant employment opportunities, community fairs. If you got some community activities you want to share, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development page is a great place to share and be on the lookout because you're going to see some branding changes, not just from the Mayor's Office of Employment Development logo, but our beloved YO Youth Opportunity logo. Listen, y'all, be geared up. Get your young people registered for YouthWorks. The clock is ticking. I think that April 1st may be the deadline date for registration. And we last I saw, we were about 6,200 completed registrations. We can take way more than that. So please go online and register. Listen, the key word there is completed registrations because what's happening is our young people are not finishing the process. And by not finishing the process, they're not getting called in for their interviews and things of that nature. So our amazing parents and significant others, loved ones, whoever it is that's supporting, whether you're school system personnel or somebody's a part of a program that's in that young person's life, we need you guys to make sure that you ride it out with the young people so that they are able to complete that process so that they do not miss out on their opportunity. I can't begin to tell you how many times and how many people down through the years have said to me, but Marvin, I registered. Yeah, the registration process, because it's computerized, has to be completed in order for you to get to that next phase, next step, next level. We want to make sure that none of our young people are left behind and that everybody have this opportunity. Yeah, I'm fixing my lighting right on camera. But everybody would have the opportunity to be able to participate in YouthWorks. We just did the YouthWorks kickoff last week down at the War Memorial Building. It was an amazing, amazing, amazing event, press conference. We had some people who graduated, alumni from the YouthWorks program that are doing some powerful things. Two of them works in the State Department of General Services where they actually did their internships or did their YouthWorks summer job program at right there. And eventually they kept going back and got in opportunities. We had one young man who is at Morgan State University, about to graduate with an electrical engineering degree. And he talks about how YouthWorks being there for him. He's actively registered to do his final year of YouthWorks this year. YouthWorks being there for him has helped position him to be able to function in those environments. He's doing amazing, amazing things. And we had some of the alumni of the alumni. When you're talking to creme de la creme, there's nothing greater. We sat down with Mayor Brandon Scott. And Mayor Brandon Scott, who is a former Youth Works participant, Senator Corey McCray, former Youth Works participant. We sat down and had a real spirited and real fun interview with Mayor Scott. You can go to the Baltimore Mayor's Office of Employment Development page, and you can see that interview in depth and detail where we talked about the importance of making sure that programs are available to our youth and making sure to his administration, to Brandon Scott's administration. And we talked about how committed he is to making sure that programs like YouthWorks and our high school job fair continue on. And that's the perfect segue because this week I've been in several schools. I was uh, it's down Harlem Park, but it's not called Harlem Park. Augusta Fells. I'm old, y'all. It was Harlem Park when I went there for middle school. But the Augusta Fells Savage High School, I was there. I met some amazing young people. A young man who told me he's an English major. He's going to college to major in English. Black young man in the community, y'all. I'm telling you, so articulate, so smart. So many young people came through there. And yeah, I put it up there. I sure did. I said, Fox, where y'all at right now? I put it right in my Facebook post because we can't keep letting the media tell one side of stories. Those brilliant young people came through there. There were about 15 vendors at every location, and this year it was mobile. Last year we were limited, of course, to virtual because of the pandemic. But this year it was mobile. We went from one school to the next school to the next school, 2 schools a day, making sure that our young people have viable opportunities. I do want to shout out Miss Shay Evans, who is a coordinator on the Mayor's Office of Employment Development side, and her partner in that great work on the Baltimore Public School side, Miss Adenike Akintola. We're going to have to do we got to do to get Adenike on here to talk about some of the great partnering that we're doing between the Mayor's Office of Employment Development and Baltimore Public Schools, y'all, because that's what it's all about. It's got to be connectivity. That's the only way we'll make sure that nobody falls through the cracks, but that everybody gets all of the amazing service that is needed to be able to progress towards their goals. So yesterday, two great things, amazing things happened. I was invited by a good friend of mine named Justina Pilot to be a part of the afternoon show on WEAA. Go to their website and check it out. It was a real good conversation about a lot of the great things that are happening in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. We were able to highlight the focus on apprenticeships. We were able to highlight youth works. We were able to highlight a lot of the different initiatives that are new as a result of the ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan Act, that have come into the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. But it was all about the growth. Why is the growth important? Because the more we grow, the more people we are able to serve. And with that stern focus on service in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, it is a great time for us because we're seeing this boom where more people are going to get help, y'all. I told you our doors are back open. You've got to make sure that you get into our doors to benefit from a lot of things that are happening in and around the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. Partnerships like our Baltimore City Agency hiring initiative that we've been doing. We got 50 something people that had job offers on the same day of the virtual event that we put together. We do this weekend. We're going to be kicking off the first of a few Baltimore City Recreation and Parks hiring events in partnership with the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. You guys don't want to miss any of this amazing stuff that's happening. Make sure you stay connected. Go to our website moed.baltimorecity.gov to view all of our job openings, look at our job board, hear about the great activities that are taking place in Baltimore. Last night, I had the privilege of being the host of the inaugural Harriet Tubman Awards. All right, y'all know we just celebrated Harriet Tubman's birthday, the bicentennial of her birth. 200 years ago. And of course, the great work that we know that she did as a person who's freed a bunch of slaves, who was instrumental in the Underground Railroad, leading people to freedom. So last night was the inaugural celebration of the Harriet Tubman Freedom Awards right here in Baltimore. I also had the privilege and pleasure of hosting it at my church. We had about 300 people in the room, and we honored about 80 women. Some of them we honored with appreciation awards for the support that they provide to people that are doing the work. But we had direct honorees, people who are boots on the ground, receive the Harriet Tubman Freedom Award, right? Some people got the Appreciation Award. This Appreciation Award right here, beautiful, was given to my grandmother for all of the support that she provides for me, the wisdom that she's given me down through the years, to become the person that I am, that stays in the community, trying to do whatever I can to be a blessing to anybody, even as a pastor, in all of the different areas of my life. So that was the Appreciation Award. And one of the Freedom Awards was given to, I ain't going to say who, but given to one of our very own. This was the Freedom Award that was given out last night. And it was an amazing time. It was put together by Let's Thrive Baltimore in partnership with the We Out Us Men's Movement. And it was the vision of an awesome young lady named Lisa Moloch, who is the founder and director of Let's Thrive Baltimore, an organization that's doing great work with youth in Baltimore City. I talked to Lisa today. I told her we're going to get her on this show because she has a spirited personality, and you guys will be able to hear directly from her of all of the amazing things that are happening as a result of the work that she's doing. But last night, they got together and they honored the women. I tell people all the time, it's not a time for celebration. We still got too much work to do, but we've got to take a pause at times to honor the people who are doing the work. And that's what happened last night. Lisa could have threw her own party and all of that sort of thing, but she didn't. She reached out and made sure that we had great women in the city who do great work be honored. Some of the honorees we had were our Baltimore City State's Attorney, Miss Marilyn Mosby. She was in the building, spoke powerfully and eloquently in receipt of her award. We had Ganesha Martin, who was a long time uh, uh, with BPD. In the hierarchy of BPD, we had Miss Erica Bridgeford from Ceasefire 365. We had so many different pastors and leaders who are doing great work across the spectrum, and we got the chance last night to honor them. My greatest honor, as I did the presentations as the host yesterday, was to be able to honor about 25 direct ancestors of Harriet Tubman that came up all the way from as far as Cambridge, Maryland, to be able to receive the inaugural award that honored women. And listen, y'all, it's so many women that do great work in Baltimore. Of course, we did not get all of them. We got some more. It's going to be going on and on and on. But I got to give the inaugural award to some direct descendants of Harriet Tubman who literally have her spirit and have been doing great work in and around the Maryland area, as far as Cambridge, Maryland, and its locals here in Baltimore. So, guys, I'm really excited about that. But now it's time to get into this show. We have two awesome and amazing guests that we're going to be talking to today. And the first one that I want to talk to is working in the line of my personal passion. She's doing great work with young people. I'm not familiar with her organization. I'm here to learn just like y'all, but from what I did in my research, man, they are doing a great work. I want to welcome to the screen the founder and the director of Unbox Change, and I forgot her name, Danielle Frisby.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. Danielle Frisby of Unboxing Change.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all. I'm listen. I'm gonna write it down from now on. This great mean that this thing ain't doing what it used to could do. But Danielle, I was so excited once I got the news that we were talking to you, to be able to look at some of the great work that you guys are doing and to bring you on here to talk about it. Can you first start by telling us a little bit about you and your organization?
Yeah. And first of all, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate Katanya for extending the opportunity, and congratulations for all of the exciting things that you mentioned. I was literally taking notes so we could share with our community as well. So yes,
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Danielle Frisby, the CEO and founder of Unboxing Change. Unboxing Change, we work with youth to help create community impact events that are centered around education, activism, and entrepreneurship. We service pre-K through college, and with that, we have just been over the last 3 years, we're almost 3 years old, just continuing to ignite young people by providing a stage, a voice, an opportunity, anything that they need to be successful. And we do that by way of internship.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I did again. I got a chance to see some things, but I don't think it's the same as when you and I talked a little bit earlier. Can you unpack what happens to a young person when they go into those internships and what the goals and outcomes are? Because I literally was just like blown away by all of the things that a young person benefits from these opportunities.
Yeah, so it just depends how they come to us. So the way that the organization started out was just this opportunity to hear where young people were and what they needed. Now, my background is traditionally in event planning, weddings, baby showers, and funerals. So I used that that background as a catalyst for purpose, and decided to teach young people pre-K through college on how they could create their own events within their own communities or within their school. So what would happen is, depending, like I said, how that young person comes to us or the relationship we currently have with the school or community organization, it just starts with conversation. What do you want to see that needs to change? And that starts the real work, right? Before we decide to pop up an event or take someone out of an opportunity, we really start to activate the student on how they can be the change that they seek. What would they like to see happen? And teach them tactics like consistency, messaging, and then, of course, prayer, whatever we need to center their spirits, to make sure that they feel encouraged and heard, is what we do as an organization.
That is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
and the reason that I look at it that way is because of all the different areas that it touch. If I pastor a church and I have brilliant young people, and I tell our young people, I want you guys to do it your way.
Yeah.
Y'all come and tell me what it is, because I believe with this generation, you have to let them write their own prescription. How much more would their skills be enhanced if they had that, or if they're part of a community organization, or in their school? Like, the sky's the limit. But one of the things that this taps into and touches on is entrepreneurship,
Oh, yeah.
because you then have the ability to go and to follow up and do the same thing that you're doing, Miss Frisbee, as somebody that can, first of all, help your community or create your own business to be able to make sure that you can support and sustain yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's a great conversation, because even before we get into ownership, we also talk about the benefits of employment, because that ties on to your passion. You might not be ready to open up a business or launch that, but you're an awesome, supporter. You're an awesome leader. How can you attach yourself to an existing structure, right? We want to make sure our students aren't
Wow.
necessarily, not necessarily reinventing the wheel, or trying to move people, especially Gen Z and Generation Alpha, trying to hurry up and get people out because things aren't happening. No, how do we come up under and then also directly support those that already are doing it, but then also strengthen your voice and your skills by way of what you're going to be bringing to the table? And we do that as young as elementary all the way up to college. So yeah, it's a big work, and we love it. And I definitely have events to share about what's coming up for us and ways that you all can support.
Well, we're gonna get to that part, but that's an amazing balance that's so needed, because I'm clear. Now, I did it the old school way. I became a pastor by succession. The person that I served under came, and I lent all of who I was to the ministry for over 20 years. And then when it was time for her to retire, I became the new pastor.
Amen.
The reason I'm saying that's important, because in our community, we don't share the
Yeah.
information and resources when it comes down to entrepreneurship. You're talking about that balance,
Yeah.
right? Because most programs are either one or the other. We
Yeah.
all about entrepreneurship, which takes some young people who are not ready to start a business, and yet they won't go to work because their mentors are talking about entrepreneur. You're giving them the balance of both. That is so
Got to.
important. Talk to us about that balance, and why that's a priority for you.
Yeah, because you know why we can't set the children up for failure if we're already if we're being honest, right? For them to launch their beautiful business means that they have identified their purpose, their calling, their voice, right? So these are things that need to be continuously developed even with adulthood. So by having a balance, really, we're really training the leader where it's like, all right, well, I want to have my own t-shirt business, or I want to be a chef, I want to do whatever. Yes, before you start that food truck, who are you working with and who have you been able to reach out to? Do you know how to send an email, friend? Could you do, you know what I mean? Those little things that are massive things. When you start to develop the mindset of a leader and, or excuse me, an owner, well, who are you? Who's following you? So we try to give the students the opportunity to just talk about what they're passionate about, but then use those skills into what they can tangibly touch now. For example, our college students. So we have a number of seniors that are getting ready to graduate from college, from UMBC, Morgan State University, Hofstra. I have to name them all. Good God. There's one more, Bowie State. So with that, these seniors are working on their final project with us is the blood drive, right? So we are partnered with the American Red Cross. We're doing a series of blood drives. I use that as an example because these students are getting ready to graduate. And what we want them to graduate with is life skills that are attached to community. So you should always be planning a blood drive. We all need to be donors, especially Black people, because we need Black blood, right? Donors of color. With that, those are skills to coordinate, invite, organize, and share messaging are all skills that you need if you're an owner or if you're a supporter of a business, a qualified employee. These are great things to highlight. So that balance is very important. So the student will always have an identity that's solid and rooted in purpose as opposed to money.
Those four core values or skill sets that you guys are given have a tendency to transcend employment, business, and entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
Can you talk about some of the other ways that those values can help a young person as they are trying to, get through life?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So if we think about their life, right, they are going to be mothers and fathers and, good neighbors, good citizens. Let's talk about the long term impact of where they're living right now. Are you bringing your business to Baltimore? Are you working in Baltimore? Do your babies go to our schools? Those are the conversations that we're having already early on in our classrooms, in our universities, because that starts to build a lifelong leader, a legacy leader, because they thought about everything as a whole. So even the way that Unboxing Change is structured, right? We are not a nonprofit. We are a for-profit business, but we are structured as a benefit corporation, a B Corp. We'll be the B by the summer. Benefit corporations use business as a force of doing good, right? So with that same mentality, we teach our students the opportunity for them to see how they can be an impact in their lives, in the community, but consistent, right? Like it's not just one event, it's not just one speech. It is your life's work. It is how you are able to support your neighbors and friends throughout your journey. And that is why we're transcending those skills, because it's not just your job, it is your duty.
You are literally, listen, these are some of the things that I talk about so much. How we are kind of in our community, we're 501c3'd out, and people are starting businesses that are for profit companies. And that's because to me, I tell people all the time, I don't apologize. I'm a capitalist. I don't have a 501c3 for my church. I'm not going to have a 501c3 for
Yeah.
my church. And I have literally been able to be a blessing to many because I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
It's allowed me to be able to create opportunities. And I'm talking about a business with employees. I ain't mad at what nobody else doing, but a t-shirt company wasn't it for me. But
Yeah.
when we talk about these are things that are so understated when we're talking about what's going to be able to help our young people, help rescue people that are in need, change our community. Why was the focus on not being a 501c3 for your organization?
Say, I couldn't hear the last thing. Why was
Why
what?
was not being a 501c3 but being a for-profit corporation?
Because we wanted to support the 501c3s, right? So I have an extensive corporate background, right? So that just means I know how to spend money and make money. Amen. So with that, I knew,
Good.
right? you know, and I didn't want to be a grant girl. What I meant by that was that I knew the education that the Lord had provided me to provide to others was something that needed to be continuously funded, even on a shoestring budget, grassroots budget. I needed to be able to be the very first volunteer in our organization and then have that pathway be followed by others that are committed to serve. So with that, when I was thinking about business ownership at this level, I wanted to ensure that I disrupted the corporate marketplace, right? Where I love that you all could use our, an investment, a donation to write off your taxes, but I want to see you spend the money because that means that you are invested in our
That
young
means you
people,
invested.
right? Like it becomes a part of the beautiful budget as opposed to something that we can write off. We want to come inside in that. With that,
Yeah.
that's a very, it's a different way to do business, but I believe what I've been blessed with is that opportunity to just be patient. Be patient. All of our programming from year one all the way up to year three has been at no cost to the student, and it will forever and always be that, right? So with that, when we're thinking about business and long-term support, we've gotten strategic on how we do that. We just recently launched something called pods. Pods, like I said, so with all the community work that we do with the students, right? We need some adults. We need some 501c3s that are going to come alongside and support. Unboxing Change is a success when we are unboxing change and Baltimore Homes and Fresh to the Soul and Fulton Bank. And like, you know what I mean? So it's a collaborative experience every single time. So with that, we have been able to create non-traditional funding, right? Where our partners, our schools, our supporters are paying to bring us to support culture and climate, support community and awareness, and do those things outside of traditional funding or grants, if that makes sense.
So we got some questions from our viewers. Ma Warner wants to know, do the youth have to be in a program, have a disability, be in the city only or in the county or both? What's the qualifications for the student?
Wow. First, they just have to have a head, heart, and mind. That's number one. All of our student offerings have been virtual since the pandemic, right? Where a lot of our work starts with the planning and being able to benefit from community service learning hours, depending on the school, because each school is different, as well as volunteer experience. So it starts with a student just reaching out. All of our socials are managed by students. So however they want to get down, you could DM us, you can email, whatever you want to do. But more importantly, it's about what we've got going on and that attaches to them. So recently, our student podcast is just launched. Shout out to Josh Campbell at Morgan State University, who's getting ready to graduate and is using this as his graduation final project so he can, get ready to move out of Morgan. But I say all that to say that, no, whatever the student, the qualification is, depending on what we have to offer, and they can link in the bio of our Instagram of all of our Volunteer Hub opportunities. And then we start to work with them from there. The majority of the offerings are virtual. And if in fact the student does have to come on site, it will be a part of a larger campaign. So yeah, just reach out.
So as you continue to talk about students, is there an age component that's direct? Because my Warner also wanted to know, what about adults who want to get into all of the great things that is happening with Unboxing Change?
Oh, amen. Well, yes, we welcome you to our community meeting. So every Sunday at 4:30, we have a community meeting. It's virtual. You can come on and you can learn about all the opportunities, meet some of our partners, but more importantly, share your heart and what you're seeking to do. That space, that 4:30 meeting, then turns into a co-working space from 4:30 to 7:30 as well too. This is an awesome opportunity for your student too, Maud, to be able to come on and say, hey, this is what I'm working on, or this is what I want to do. We have been able to transition our community meeting into co-working, like I was saying, because of the fact all of us are working on so many different projects, but more importantly, our community partners need a space to come and share and connect and network. So it starts there every Sunday at 4:30 via Zoom. I'll make sure that you get that information, or you can connect with us on LinkedIn, or connect with me on LinkedIn, because that's the only thing the students don't manage. But on Unboxing Change on the socials, you can we'll get the link for you.
That's awesome. My Warner had another question before I
Okay.
allow you to put your information on how people can contact you. She wanted to know if the Youth Works program was now open to county residents. Emphatically no.
Hmm.
Emphatically no.
Ooh,
This is a Baltimore City program to help Baltimore City youth that is directly funded by Baltimore City. We gotta holler at Johnny O and tell him do something for the county young people. But this, the youth works that is for Baltimore City residents only.
yeah.
Man, this listen, I could talk to you for the rest of the hour, but we do have another guest. I think two more guests to go. But Danielle, I don't think this is gonna be the last time that we talk. I myself am going to try my best to attend one of your community meetings because I always like to see where partnership is available,
Yeah.
opportunity for partnerships may be available, and just plain old support. This is an awesome, awesome thing that you're doing. You
Thank you.
had to unbox program mind frame to produce, unbox, and change. You have taken everything that people normally say has to be 501c3s, all that sort of thing, and thrown them to the side and said, no, we're going to do it another way. And I so respect and admire your vision and what you've done to bring it to pass. How can people contact you?
Absolutely. So you can definitely reach out to us at hello@unboxingchange.com. But let me tell you this, when you do reach out, ask about the blood drives on April 26th at UMBC and May 4th at Bowie State University. Our seniors are going head to head to see who can save the most lives. So please reach out with purpose. We would love for you to support, donate blood, of course, and just connect with us. So hello@unboxingchange.com or via Instagram or LinkedIn.
Thank you so much for being with us, Danielle. This has been an amazing, amazing opportunity
Absolutely.
to talk about an amazing, amazing program. And we don't do this enough. We don't say things like, "I appreciate you for allowing God to give you the vision and trusting Him to bring it to fruition, and then use you to be able to be a blessing to so many young people." We are definitely going to stay connected. Thank you for being a part of the Employee Baltimore show.
Amen. Thank you so much.
All right. Man, y'all heard it here. My producer been getting on me behind the scenes. She's sending me all kind of messages, but we gonna keep this we gonna keep this thing going. But Danielle was fire. I need y'all to make sure that y'all liking, loving, and sharing. We need to get as many people on here as we possibly can in order for us to make sure that we are reaching everybody that we possibly can with all of the great information and opportunities that we have available. Listen, some young people are going to be better because of what's happening in Danielle's program, and we want to make sure that we are the first ones spreading the word, letting young people know that these great opportunities are out there. I believe that so many people are not being serviced or served simply because they don't know where to go to get those resources. That's not good enough. We can't do that anymore. We have got to make sure that we are doing what's necessary in order to see to it that nobody is left behind for a lack of information. Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm a pastor. I know this the Employee Baltimore show, but our people perish for a lack of knowledge. We got to make sure that we're sharing. Okay, y'all, we got a special segment that we're putting together. You're going to see these at the end of each quarter. And this young lady is somebody who is agreed to come on here and to give a testimonial about her life and her experience with the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. We've done something right along the way to impact her for her to agree to take some time out and come on here. And I'm so excited to hear all that she has to say and appreciate you for being willing to come on here and to share what's going on in your life and how the Mayor's Office of Employment Development has been a part. Welcome to the screen and to the Employee Baltimore show, Miss Samantha Hart.
Hi.
How you doing, Miss Hart?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for having me. Thank
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see you got the brick wall background. You ain't playing today. You ready for it, huh?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much. My name is Samantha Hart. I am coming from Norfolk, Virginia. I came to Baltimore, Maryland in 2018. I was employed working from home and the position ended. When it ended, I was lost. I was completely lost without employment. I learned about the Mayor's Office of Employment Development online searching for employment. I was directed with, pointed directed with Catania Lester, and Gary Figueroa. When I went to Catania, she had she did I can't remember, it was some type of meeting group session or something I had to do for quote unemployment. And when I came out of that room, I was hysterical and I was crying. She grabbed me and took me straight to the office, her office. And I sat and I explained to her my story.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "No worries, we're going to get you going." She introduced me to the program. It is called, bear with me, it's the program bonding document. I explained to her I had a situation with my record. The first thing she wanted me to do was get a bonding document. And I'm like, what is a bonding document?
Mm-hmm.
A bonding document is you are bonded by the state of Maryland when you have issues with your criminal history,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps. With that, I went to they and she enrolled me, her and Gary Figueroa enrolled me in a program called Central Maryland Area Health Education Center. When I explained to her my background, what I wanted to do, she told me to take this class, and it was doing COVID tracing, COVID contact tracing. I finished the class in October 2020. And with that, I also wound up with my CHW certification. So I'm also a certified healthcare worker as
Mm.
well. And with that, I she told me about the position for a contact tracer. I applied, and it is a state job with Maryland. I've been hired with state of Maryland for 1 year now. We just became permanent. It just became a permanent position with 100% state benefits. I can't wait to get my new ID. Instead of it saying temporary state Maryland, it says permanent. So I am a permanent employer with the state of Maryland. I can take my position and I can apply within any position in the state of Maryland and do not have to go back through the background checks. I don't have to go through that. It's just an easy transition. I was one day talking to a case, COVID. I work from home remotely with COVID contract tracing, and I was talking to a case, and the gentleman, he was positive, and when I was offering him resources, he said, "Well, how can you help me?" I said, "We do have resources. Is there any resources I can help you?" He said, "Yes, I need a job. I'm tired of being in the streets. I'm tired of selling drugs, and I'm tired of going to jail. I have a criminal background." The first thing I offered to him was the telephone number and the link for the bonding document.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also told him to go on the website. As I was working with him, you all had a city flyer for employers. They was hiring. I think this was a couple of months ago. I sent him that flyer and I said, I need you to first contact them, get this bonding document, and also apply for this job. With COVID trace, and we have to do follow-ups. When I did a follow-up, I think 2 days after, he broke down and he said, "Miss Hart, how can I thank you so much?" I said, "Tell me something good. Tell me something good." And he was like, "I got interviewed and I got the job and I'm going off of the streets from selling drugs." And I had to pause and put it in mute because it was just an awesome thing to know that with the resources that I knew that helped me land my position, it also helped someone else. So if anybody is out there that's looking for a job, and I highly recommend get in touch with Miss Lester, Miss Katonia Lesser. Her resumes are outstanding. Her resume got me sold to my job, and I'm still being. I just was interviewed with another position in the mayor's office, working with the the in a courthouse, working for peer parenting for working with children. Unfortunately, they're kids that have to be taking. So I'm just waiting on the my background to come back with that and go to the next steps. But I've been really taking this and But the document that you get from bonding, it lasts 6 months. So if you run out of the document, you can call them back and they can send you a new document updated with the dates. But that document is very good to have when you are having issues on your background. And I just want to thank Mayor MOED. You all are the best. Miss Lester, she texts me, calls me all the time. What's going on? How's things going? Do you need a job? I love her to death. Her resumes are outstanding. If you need assistance with a resume, she can definitely point you to the right direction. And I want to thank you all for having me today. And thank you so much. And Mr. Marvin, I watch
It's
you all the
hard. You watch me all the time.
time. Yes.
Thank you for watching me all the time. But listen, I just want you to know just how inspired your story and your testimony is. And I know when people hear inspiring, they think about other people who may come and benefit from the resource you benefited from. But sometimes those of us who do this work need to hear that we are really helping someone. And I'm just so inspired and encouraged, Miss Hart. That's why I didn't try to interrupt you, didn't try to stop you, to listen to you be able to talk about working the program and how you make the program work for you, and wonderful people like Gary Figueroa, who I've worked with and known a long time, and Katanya Lester, who I've worked with and known a long time, has just been amazing. And Miss Hart, I just want you to know you blessed me today. You really, 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 I believe, inspired a lot of people. Can we get y'all to put some hearts and thumbs up and all that sort of thing, and send a word of encouragement to Miss Hart? Miss Hart, you are a true testimony of what it means when we say we want to build a workforce system that actually works, not just because of your testimony, but how immediately you're impacting other people by giving them what you received. And I believe that's the circle of life that the Lion King was trying to talk about. You giving back what you received. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking some time out. I see you got your work headset on and all that. You probably doing your thing, but thank you so much for not thinking it robbery to come and to talk to us about your amazing testimony.
thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I want everybody to know that the MOED program works. You have to want it to work for yourself. So you have to get in contact with them. It really works. I sat in Miss Lester's face, not every day, but every other day on the phone with her. And her and Gabby work with me very hard. He still calls me, reaches out to me, see how things are going. The program works. The program works.
Miss Hart, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
I
you.
don't know, Katanya. I know we said we was going to do it at the end of every quarter, but this makes me want to bring more people on to share their testimonies about how they work the program and the program worked for them. Like, this is just incredible. It's incredible, incredible. I'm so grateful that we have people like you, like I said, not just to inspire those that are in need of help, but to inspire the people who have been doing the work and continue to do the work, to let you know that your labor is not in vain. That's right. Brandon is my hashtagger. Everybody getting there and hashtag workforce system that works. Thank you so much for being with us, Miss Hart. I can't wait to talk to you and see you again.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. Did y'all hear that? Let me tell you the part that blessed me. The part that blessed me is when she said that she's now in the state system. Her big issue and concern was the background. Not only did they give her resources to help her with the background, and now she's in the state system, she can go anywhere that she wants to go and don't have to worry about that thing that was troubling her and bothering her before. Listen, y'all, it ain't just that we had a handout for Miss Hart. Miss Hart came in and worked the program. She worked the program and made the program work for her. What I'm trying to say to you is that the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is here, and we're doing what's necessary to make sure that everybody has access to opportunity, but you got to come and work the program. All right, y'all, without further ado, I have been anticipating this opportunity to talk. I talk to this young lady all the time. I just think she's absolutely dope, absolutely amazing, all of that sort of thing. She's taught me a lot. I've been under her supervision now for a little more than a year. She's challenged me in some areas where I needed to grow and taught me a whole lot about what was in me. not what she wanted me to be, but what's in me. You're gonna work with somebody and they're gonna mentor you. And that's right. You ain't gotta be a man to mentor somebody. They ain't gotta be older than you to mentor you. If they have what you need, you go get it. And she was able to reach into me and pull out of me some things, and still pulling out of me some things that I need. I often say we have got to we've got people like myself and Katanya and the folks that you hear about who are the faces of this agency, because we do the direct facing with customers, but they're an amazing group of people who do a lot of work to make sure that I'm empowered with the resources and everything that I need, and the space to be me and do the work the way that I do it most effective, that never be seen. But today we're going to change that, and we're going to bring to the screen one of the most amazing people in our organization, our Assistant Director, Chief of Employment Services, Miss Yvette Clark. Miss Clark,
Good afternoon.
thank you
Thanks for
for taking
having
some
me.
time. Thank you for being here. If you flip your phone sideways, it'll take those little panels off the side and give us a full screen. We see
How
you
about that?
mobile because you loved us enough to come on here and talk to us on your day off. Thank you so much for doing that.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It all worked out. I'm happy to be here.
You you
Thanks for
you
having me, Marvin.
You are the visionary leader and the architect of the employer services division. Now, business services and being a BSR and all that stuff has always been around. But I
Hmm.
believe the efficiency and effectiveness and the success, even going through a pandemic, was the result of that awesome vision and direction that God laid it on your heart to take this. Because this, we clear that this is God work, right? Tell us a little bit about that division, just that when you begin to hear and see that there's some things that we could do differently to make us operate better, and what that was like for you.
Yeah, we have an incredible team of about what 19, maybe 20 deep, right, in our division with so much talent. And I think that when the pandemic hit, it was an opportunity to kind of look at everyone's talents, their strengths, and put them in a position where they could be most successful. The energy on our team is an incredible, and when you pair that up and put someone in the right position where they feel like they're going to thrive, everybody's going to win. So we had the opportunity to do that through the pandemic, and we had to figure out a lot. We had to figure out how to be more of value to our customer, which are employers throughout Baltimore City. But we had to figure out how to be more valuable within our agency in the city of Baltimore. And so it wasn't too hard. I mean, if you remember, we have individuals that work throughout the city, in different centers, different locations. Maybe we were doing, what we needed to do, but we weren't quite streamlined. And I think that my vision was to create a team of individuals who were truly working together, sharing information, sharing ideas. And the most important part was giving everyone the autonomy to contribute. Yeah, you had the autonomy to contribute your ideas, to implement, to execute, to be involved, to have the platform, to shine, to show your strengths, to get help when you need it, to learn something that you didn't quite know about. So there was a whole lot, of going on, but here we are now, and I've got you as an amazing leader, Katanya in the back producing the show, who are doing like a phenomenal job, just rocking it out like week after week, bringing value not only just to our employers, but to job seekers, the city of Baltimore, our agency. So it's incredible. It's an incredible feeling. Thank you for asking me that question.
I'm unapologetic about how I've been reinvigorated, not just in this work, but in this agency, through my shift to being in leadership under you. And I've worked down through the years under some amazing leaders in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. But one of the things I want to talk about is how we always have been, but how you have supported us as we become an agency without walls. And what I mean by that is, as you have people like myself and Maurice who have gone way outside of the bounds of a center, and we gotten with movements like the We Are Us men's movement that literally walks the streets at night and does, and how you have been so supportive and made it a priority for us to make movements like We Are Us and other organizations that are doing great work a priority outside of the confines of our buildings. Tell us why it was so important for you to kind of take the leash off of the
Mhm.
greatness and let it flow.
I think when I wouldn't even say, well, yeah, I took the leash off because I feel that when you give people the freedom and opportunity, like I said, to thrive and follow their passion, the greatness just comes. Like you are great. Maurice is great. Our team is great. And I don't need to tell you what to do. You've already demonstrated that you're passionate and you're here for a reason. Your reason why is that you care about people, right? You want to help people elevate. You want to help people get support. You want to help them get to the next level. You want to help them feel important, and that's what you do. That's your reason why. Who am I to stand in between that? Right? Who am I to create a barrier or a challenge for you to thrive where you want to be? If you want it, you can have it. And that's how I look at it. I trust everyone on my team. If there until there's a situation that we have to address, and there hasn't been a situation where I feel like I don't have to, I mean, where I do have to, micromanage or, put that leash back on. I'm here for support and guidance, and that's how I look at it. I'm here to groom other leaders, and I'm helping you know, um, my team, you, yourself, everyone else on this team to get to where they want to be. That's how I see myself. I'm a servant leader.
Yeah, definitely. My last question to you though is that our agency is going through an amazing growth period. And I love when I'm in spaces with you, Shay, Darrell, our team.
Uh,
But you like a kid at the candy store when you're visualizing and thinking about how to expand to serve more. Talk about what this growth has been like for somebody like you who to me has been a little ahead of your time when you look at conventional thought processes and ideologies about workforce development, and yet a pioneer and innovative because where those strategies have been deployed, we see change definitely for the better.
yeah, our team has grown a lot since the pandemic. We've gotten a lot of funding from the federal level. And, for years, you always, say, if we had enough money, we could do this or we could do that. We have a lot of money. It's kind of like when you get paid, and then you have an opportunity to go shopping. You have to have in your mindset like what you're going to get, what do you want to accomplish? If I now that I'm in a position, what can I do? And I feel like now is our time. We've gotten the funding, right? So let's use this funding that we have to make all those things on our wish lists come true.
Yes.
So, building that apprenticeship team, we have 4 individuals, soon to be 5. These are new people, new jobs that we created, right, to elevate apprenticeship, to elevate a person who wants a job and earn and learn and, and build a career where they're going to have progressive wages. So we didn't really have funding for that before. We have funding to support 100 apprenticeships, right? And so if you want to be an apprentice, if you want to be in a position, like I said, to get a job, but really have a career and get paid while doing it, for 4 to 5, 6 years while you're learning, we have money for employers to employ people to be an apprenticeship. And as a job seeker, if you're looking for a job, it's an opportunity for an employer to maybe hire more people because we're defraying the cost of hiring that the employee. With the small business, we have a small business grant that we got through this growth. We've never had anything like that where we could laser focus on small businesses. Small minority and women owned businesses are in a position to get $6,000 up to $18,000 just for hiring a Baltimore City resident. That's
Wow.
incredible.
Yes.
That's incredible. When we launched, I don't know if you remember this, Marvin, but when we launched that program within 30 days, we were like, we had no money left. We
Yeah, I
had to
do
go get some
remember.
more money.
Absolutely.
We had to get some more money. So, when I say all this to say, when you get a large sum of money or you get, recognized for the great work that you do, and you get an opportunity to be innovative, to create positions, opportunity, you just have to be ready. And I think that we did that in a very short period of time. And we're able to reach a lot more Baltimore City residents. We're able to reach a lot more employers to help them hire Baltimore City residents, and we're elevating all the work that we do. We're a hidden gem. We are a hidden gem. We are a team of individuals, like I said, who do what we do because we're passionate. We have the skills. We've got the resources to help so many people. So it's an exciting time with all the growth that we have, with all the funding that we have. We've been able to, help our own employees move up the ladder and create
Uh-huh.
career pathways within our division. Right, we've had positions we've never had before. So
Mine is
it's
brand
just
new.
yeah, yours is brand new. It's a good place to be, and it's an honor to be able to oversee this division, and be an assistant director at MOED, because we just have the freedom to do so much, and we do it well.
Well, it is my honor to be able to do this next thing. You were nominated along with some women who are doing powerful, powerful things in Baltimore. And last night, because it was more important for you to keep your commitment to work with some other young women than to be present, even to be honored, which is just a staple and a statement of your character. You weren't able to be there to receive, but I even like that I get to do it this way because we may have so many more people watching. I get to present to you your Harriet Tubman Freedom Award.
Thank you.
This nomination came as a result of the support, how you've literally torn down the walls of the mayor's office of employment development and said we got to be in the streets. When I presented our re-engagement strategy for coming out of COVID to be in
Hmm.
the streets, on the street corners, working with organizations. It was a unanimous vote between Let's Thrive Baltimore, the Men of the We Are Us movement, which I'm a part of, that you would definitely be honored. And I want to read it. It says the first Harriet Tubman Freedom Award presented to Yvette Clark for being the light for many and for being a foot soldier in your community on this 30th day of March 2022 on the bicentennial of Harriet Tubman's birth. This award is being presented on behalf of Let's Thrive Baltimore and We Are Us. And I'm going to see you one day next week to give it to you. But this beautiful plaque is so well deserved. One of the things that I was adamant about, well, two things I was adamant about last night is that while the men were coming together trying to figure it out, the women have been holding this city together for the longest time. And it is long overdue that we say we're going to create an isolated space to honor the powerful women who juggle motherhood and everything else and still show up to see to it that what's needed for a city like Baltimore happens. You embody and personify that. And it is my privilege and pleasure to not only work for you, but with you and to present you with this first um, Harriet Tubman Freedom Award.
Thank you.
We need an acceptance speech like the Oscars.
Thank you so much, Marvin. That is incredible, and I'm quite shocked that I was nominated and am receiving the award, because it doesn't take a lot of effort for me to lift other individuals up. It doesn't take a lot of effort for me to let you and Maurice or anyone else on our team to shine, right? To follow your passion, to walk the footsteps that you want to walk in. Um, I think that's what my purpose is here. I'm here to support. I'm here to guide. I'm here to create opportunity. And so, I'm humbled and I'm very appreciative. But this is who I am.
Yes, it is.
I'm thankful to be in a position that I can be, myself. Right. If money wasn't an issue, I would still, I would do this for free. Right. I am going to always be lifting and connecting and supporting individuals. That's who I am. So to get paid to do that, I mean, it's an honor to get recognized by your organization, you, Maurice, and everyone else who nominated and voted for me. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And again, it doesn't take a lot of effort. Sometimes the weight is heavy on your shoulders when you care about people, right? Because you take it personally. Your success, Marvin, is my success. Your challenges are my challenges. And so
Well,
sometimes that could be heavy.
I want to thank you for taking some time out of your day off, which is again a statement of your character, what type of leader you are, to be with us. Katanya and I have been chopping at the bit at just the opportunity to get you on the screen. And I know that there are greater things ahead, and I'm looking forward to all of the great things that are to come. But enjoy your time off. Have an amazing weekend, and I look forward to being able to put this beautiful plaque in your hand sometime next week.
Thank you. Can I come back in April?
You can come back as much as you want.
Thank
as many
you.
times as you want.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a great weekend.
Okay, you too.
All right, Employee Baltimore show. It's been an amazing time for us today. I really enjoyed the opportunity to talk to all of our wonderful guests, whether it was Miss Sharon Hart, who came to share a testimony, Miss Danielle Frisby, who is doing that great work at Unbox and Change, and definitely to our Assistant Director and our Chief of Employer Services, Miss Yvette Clark. The privilege to be able to not only sit down and spend some time with her on this platform, but to present her with this inaugural Harriet Tubman Freedom Award has been my pleasure. It's also been my pleasure to continue to rock out with my Rolly, my partner, Miss Katanya Lester, behind the scenes, making all the magic happen, the producer with the most, and with you, our viewing and listening audience. Listen, I tell you all the time, we have got to have people show up to do this dope thing that we're doing called the Employee Baltimore Show, and you guys show up week after week to support us. Make sure you're here next Thursday at the same time, 1 p.m. on Facebook Live, and we will have more dynamic guests, more dynamic opportunities, and you will definitely be blessed and better for coming. I tell you, here in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, if you're looking for opportunity, we are looking for you. With a focus on economic justice, we are intent, purpose, focused, and walking towards building a workforce system that really works. Thank you again for joining us. Have an amazing weekend.